let's get things started. We're a little late, but that's because of mod set updates and TFAR plugin and yada-da, but alright, we've got two major streams today, OFCRA and POG. In the interim between the streams, I'm also going to be working on a lot of, I think mainly editing is the number one thing I got to do, because there's some other projects I want to get off the ground that are non-armor related, but we'll get there when we get there. Regardless, Deadman Miller finally updated TFAR to include Ilbenek's audio adjustments for spectator, so now we can actually start listening to the player base again, and then when they die, we don't hear them anymore. So we had that for a while. The plugin became defunct because I accidentally updated it, and I couldn't get it working again because of I couldn't find a way to revert the version of TeamSpeak I was on, because I had to update it for the 506. But now that plugin has been updated with TFAR itself, so now we have all that working for us. But otherwise, we have what appears to be a US versus Russian scenario here for OFCRA today. Pretty simple stuff. Blue 4 is going to be the USA, Op 4 is going to be Russia. Not for any particular reason. Again, it's just because that's how the mods have them shown from RHS. We've got two common objectives here, but before we get into it, let me go ahead and set up the prediction for you guys so y'all can do your betting for this. Who will win this OFCRA match? Also, can you guys let me know if my audio levels are good for you guys compared to the music audio and my voice, because we were having some major issues last night during the Reforger stream, and I just want to make sure I completely reinstalled OFCRA, OBS. They both begin with an O, I'm sorry. And I just want to make sure we're good. But let me get the poll up for you guys. And let's set it for 20 minutes because I feel like this will take a little bit. Not a new mic. It's just a matter of OBS, for whatever reason, when we started the stream for the Reforger stuff. I didn't notice this, but we went like a full 10-15 minutes where the game audio was just completely scuffed, and nothing had changed. I didn't even quit out of OBS. I literally just switched the game from Arma 3 to Arma Reforger, but everything was already preset from previous streams, and OBS just decided not to capture in-game audio at a rate that it should have been. So all people really heard was my voice and then really muted voices in the background, you know? My mic could be a bit louder. All right, 1 second. Let me turn it up by a decibel. How's that sound? The issue is when I get super loud, I'm worried about it peaking, but let me know if that's good. Otherwise, I could turn things down. It's the music? Gotcha. All right, let me turn that down a few decibels, and then I'll turn my mic back down a few decibels to compensate. How's that? I'm relying on you guys, so please let me know, because it's hard for me to just look at, some lines going up through, green, yellow, and red colors, but let's see if that'll work. And that gives me a little room to yell in case some crazy shit happens. Alright, regardless, we see the AO here. We see some pretty extensive minefields. I'm going to go ahead and go over the common objectives. So, at the end of the game, we have a docks objective. Whoever has more players in this AO... Oh, there we go. We'll do a quick breakdown of the objectives here. And then I need to make sure real quick the new setting is on... This would be... Yep, alright, so this is the new one. So, mute other spectators, listen to live players only. So basically, for spectator. So awesome. That's all set. I'm going to go ahead, turn everything on, but let's do a quick breakdown of all the points here. So whoever has more players in the dock zone by the end of the game gains 3 points. Whoever has the docks checkpoint, which is this location, by the 45-minute mark gains 2 points. Blue 4 is trying to destroy 2 Typhoon trucks. Is it 2? No, it's Electronic Warfare Typhoon truck right here. By the 60-minute mark, Blue 4 gains a point if they can do that. There's also a radar system over here. Here it is. This is the Livonia texture for a NATO radar system, but I digress. That's just the technical of it. Blue Force trying to destroy that by the 60-minute mark. If they can destroy that, they also gain a bonus point. And then if OPFOR can defend both of those objectives, they get the 2 points there. So 2 points for the 45-minute mark, 1 point each at the 60-minute mark, and then 3 points by the end of the game. That is pretty much it. Otherwise, let's go ahead and look at assets now. And again, let me know if I need to tweak my mic anymore. Since we're over here, we're going to start with OPFOR. OPFOR is being commanded by Wombat. There's one little thing I want to turn up here. Not that. There we go. I just want to turn my voice up in my headset a little bit because I sound a little quiet for myself, but there we go. Let me know again if anything I tweak makes anything go off. I'm serious about that because I really want to get really good audio quality for you guys. But regardless, looking at OPFOR here, we've got standard EMR kits here. So AK-74s. I love how we finally get to hear them again after like a year or two, and the first thing we hear is them just cursing at each other. Great. But AK-74s, RPG-26s, the single-shot tubes, 443 garages for the handguns, a PKP.
I'm peeking his
Suck on the front line, ball.
Right, okay, yeah, well, send this.
Rico, that's fucked up.
Wait.
I'm peeking.
Bruh. We also have some Metis, not Metis, the, oh my gosh, the Cormit ATGM tripods. So they can make AT turrets as well. We also see them with RPG-32s. This appears to be a motorized group based out of trucks. We have a mechanized group with multiple BTR-80s. And then we've got a command Gaz and another truck for any additionals. We then have another platoon over here. This appears to be another motorized group, but they're given Gazes as MRAPs. And then they also have an autocannon on one of these Gazes. We also see their weaponry is a little different. We have some more advanced AK models. These are either AK-12s or something else. Someone will correct me in chat. We also have some AS Vals in play as well, which are integrally suppressed submachine guns. And then we see some more RPG-26s and some RPG-7s with the tandem heat warheads, which are meant to basically penetrate into tanks. Little issue I do see with these guys is they don't have any helmets, they have beanies, so they can basically get headshotted by any caliber and get insta-killed. Looking at Blue 4 here, I want to quickly just scroll out to make sure there's no other spawn points for anybody. Alright, so Blue 4's entire force is going to be here. Depso is a seasoned commander, he's going to be commanding it for Blue 4. You know, I think I regret this plugin. I think I regret it. They cable-tied people and they're making them... Okay.
Oh my God.
Great.
That was horrible. Don't do that again. Don't do that again. Do it again. Oh, no.
Yeah, can you put me down so that I can work out what's going on?
You two talk.
Can you release
Hold on.
No, I need to be released so I can see what's going on.
You
don't know.
Again.
I'm poking T,
Wow, my DUI radar's gone.
saying
That's
I
bad.
can hear y'all finally, and this is what I get. I think you just saw it.
I don't have
Must
any
be a
map
Marine.
markers, This is bad.
Anyway, they have 2 MRZRs for transport. We got some ghillie suit guys, so this implies they're either sniper teams or scouting teams that are potentially suppressed.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we got some suppressed M4s from the look of things, but oh my god. Ooh. You know, seeing that pisses me off. Do you know why? Because I was looking for this. Did RHS update? Where's this from? I needed this 2 weeks ago for the GRA op. I had to use LAVs instead of Bushmaster Strikers because we didn't have the model. And now here's the model. And I'm like, bruh, where's this from? God damn it. It's hidden from me. It's new? Did RHS update to add that? I mean, good. Thank God. Another thing that I've always wanted. They've got, what, 3 autocannon strikers, 2 Crow system minesweeping strikers to go through the minefields. And then a bunch of 3 turnout strikers. But Blue 4's weaponry, it's M4 base. We got 240 Bravos here. I'm looking for any 249s, but I think the 240 Bravos are meant to match the PKPs on OP4, because the 249, let's be honest, is much better than an RPK. But we do have some 249s in play with some, I think those are 200-round soft packs, because the 100 should be smaller. You know, this is what the average player does. And I'm not surprised. But someone tell me, did RHS update? Or where are these from? Or is it from the same mod that adds those Gaz Typhoons with the autocannon up top that we saw earlier? Either way, glad to see them. I really love doing armor-only ops, but I'll admit my player base doesn't always like to do armor-only ops. Speaking of, there will be a 6 to 8 hour MCO on the weekend. I'm only going to be able to cover about 90 minutes of it because I got other stuff to do. But if you want to get in on that, get into my Discord, grab an Arma tag, go on the collab channel. I can get you slotted for something. It's going to be like a World War II themed thing. Plus, I think it requires spearhead. So if you've always wanted to do some large-scale spearhead stuff, I finally got an op for you guys. All right, regardless, all things considered, let's take a look at the roster sizes here. So we've got about a little over a page and a half of players for Blue 4. Op 4, we have a little less, but it's only by like 2 or 3 guys. So I would say only like a 2 to 3 number advantage on Blue 4 here. But most of those players are going to be in vehicle crews for the strikers and whatnot. Op 4, meanwhile, the only vehicle crews we're going to be seeing is the BTRs, which don't even look to be crewed, and the 1 Gaz Typhoon with the turret, which is off to the side right here. So Op 4 in their place, we saw them with RPG-7s with tandem warheads. Those will definitely shred a striker. We saw them with Cormet ATGMs. They have some preset minefields here, which is going to force Blue 4 to slow down unless they go down the E22 highway and then turn off right here to come in just beyond the minefield where it's safe. Op 4 also have some Cormet ATGM launchers. The question is, are they going to be able to find good spots for them? But I think there's some terrain where they can definitely support, you know, putting 1 right here or 2 and just sniping whatever vehicles come in. We are also going to see a constant amount of people disconnecting because with the TFAR update and the plugin update, if you haven't updated your plugin, you're going to start crashing out because the integrations are going to make your game have memory leaks if you don't update it because, again, the mod updated. We learned that the hard way yesterday during the Greenland op, which is why the op got delayed by like 30 minutes. So unknown means this was one of the crash outs. AI just, you know, took over that slot and he didn't crash out properly. But otherwise, I mean, this AO is a really nice urban style area. It's definitely like a shipping town because we have a lot of storage yards and whatnot. This is a pretty good AO. I'm not going to lie. I'd love to do something like a zombie thing here. Noted, because we do have a zombie campaign coming up, and I'm still trying to select what ops we're going to do for it. But otherwise, how are you guys? Everything good on your Thursday? I am planning today to do this and another stream, continuing Pog's Broken Crown campaign on the ground where we're looting stuff. I think I left the other one early because I just wasn't having a lot of fun with it, but that's also because the difficulty went from like a 2 to 8, and I just wasn't mentally prepared for it. It'd been a long day at that point. I'm going to be focusing on editing, getting a lot of content out for you guys and scheduled, and then trying to prep for a New Vegas playthrough. Because Fallout 3's remaster's coming out, the current rumor is the 4th of February. They're definitely going to shadow drop it like they did Oblivion. I definitely want to stream it because, fun fact, I've only played a few hours of Fallout 3. I've never beaten the game. I only play New Vegas religiously. Look at this. Op4, they're setting up an ambush with an RPG-7. They're going to set it up. Honestly, I think they should set it up at the edge of the minefield because Blue 4, when they're going to be slowest, is going to be while they're crossing this minefield. So if they were to instead come right up to the edge here at this little bump in the road where we have some defilade cover, they could easily, as soon as vehicles come to this little top of the hill, RPG it and then bump off and then utilize this patch of road right here to just smack stuff. Because once they go downhill, Blue 4 is going to have the advantage of, you know, having the high ground and being able to plink people off. So I think right there is good. Just make sure it's a safer work mod set. Fun facts. I have never played Fallout New Vegas modded. I have only played it vanilla again and again because it's just one of my favorite things to do. I think I play it more often than Homeworld, to be perfectly honest. So there won't be any NSFW mods on there. It'll be a pure playthrough of just me, Fallout New Vegas, and my character's bare hands. No techniques, no other weapons, just my bare hands, and if I chicken out, maybe paralyzing palm as a perk. If I can level up to that. I'm not shitting you, nah. The only thing I considered is potentially getting a mod that stabilizes the crashes that come out of like the strip and whatnot. Demand Vix Fox be modded. Shark, Vix is not really a friend here anymore. I've already given that story a few times. You can DM me if you want to know, but yeah, we don't talk about that anymore here because of some crazy BS. An unarmed playthrough, yep. Because I've never done something like that before, and I think it would be funny, and then I turn it into one of those like playthrough videos and see what happens. Okay, alright, fun fact. Let me scroll out here. Let's see where Blue 4 is going. So they've just broken off into two convoys here. One's going far north, but Op4 is setting up a counter around here, so this will probably be where first contact comes in. Also, people are still having their edited twig names, so we have names like that joining the server. Lovely. Fun fact. A few days ago, I was playing Lonesome Road. I was like level 44. I had my holo rifle. I had the survivalist rifle. I had some pretty powerful body armor. My DT was like 28, 30. There's a part in Lonesome Road when you're on the overpass after you get out of the tunneler tunnel when you meet them for the first time. There's a few marked men to kill, and then there's some death claws further up the road on this overpass. And there's this one little thing where if you enter a little side not building, but a side trailer that's filled with gore, it'll spawn a death claw on top of that structure. And I play all my playthroughs for my own personal reasons on very hard. I'm not playing very hard on an unarmed build with only my fist. That's suicide, but it would be funny. I don't want to just end up in a punching match with Linnaeus, but I digress. It's a jump scare when you go into this trailer because it's filled with gore, environmental storytelling, and a deathclaw spawns on top of it, and it plays this like audio soundbite of the deathclaw like snarling. So I forgot about it. And then if you've ever seen me play DayZ or other horror games, you know I'm a little bitch and I like to scream. I scream hard, I turn around, I walk out, I look up, the Deathclaw clips off of the rooftop, lunges at me, and just one-taps me. And I just immediately fall over and die. And next thing I know, I'm waking up and Ulysses is ranting at me again through Eddie, because after you get out of the tunnel, he rants at you. I got jumped by a Deathclaw, and because it was very hard, I got one-tapped. So, with that story in mind, I can safely tell you I am going to avoid Deathclaws in that unarmed playthrough. Because again, I'm not taking things like, you know, displacer gloves, pushy, none of that. No. I'm using my bare hands. If I feel I am confident enough to fight a Deathclaw with my bare hands, I'm going to be honest, that kind of ruins the fun, because my fear is how I'm going to fight Linnaeus at the end. I'm going to probably meme it and you know, we'll have to take Metal Gear Revengeance, that end fight with Armstrong. That's what I want to recreate in that video. All right, we got a squad of Blue 4 here. They're checking out the minefield and the road right here. Op 4 have set up beyond it. I can see why Blue 4 would want to take this road because it lets them now get into the territory down here. Another convoy going completely around to the south. We might see them just then map hug and then come around this way. That's more than doable. And then they just come all the way around to the back. Maybe they snipe the two objectives here and then they camp the docks at the end. Op 4, I mean, to their credit, they've tried to defend all the major roads, but if Blue 4 just completely map hug, they don't have a defense against that, but first contact's going to be up here. But we'll see how things go. So yeah, I'm debating if I can get a lot of editing done and free up a big amount of space on my computer, I will start that playthrough as early as tomorrow at like 12:30. Now, if I can't, we'll start it next week on Tuesday or Sunday. I'll put an announcement out tonight with an ETA, but there's a few things I need to get done. Oh, look at that. Look at that little skyline right there. Do they notice? Because that's a Blue 4 player. Now they're coming over. Does Destroyer realize their skyline? I think he... Maybe? No? He's looking around. He's not looking the road. Bro, you're supposed to watch the road. We just saw 2 people poke their heads over. What are the odds that they immediately spotted Destroyer, though, and they know that this is being watched? Oh, I think Jesse saw him. Because now he's proning. He knows. I'm going to be honest, regardless of what you're wearing, you're going to contrast on that road. But this is Twig King's boys, so these guys are pretty good PvPers here. Versing some of my guys. Yep, you see that movement again. Oh, come on. Yeah, so he's trying to stop the bipod again because now he knows. He saw that.
Pretty good. I'm first up on these rocks on it like...
He just can't find a good bipod position now because he was in one and then it broke. There's that skyline again. He's scoping.
Yo, was that a friendly picking over?
Twig immediately yells at him. There we go. I think that was Twig that yelled at him. Or it was Kiwi. Yeah, an Arma 3 bipod moment right there. Goddamn. Here's the funny thing. They've got some strikers. Take the Crow striker, put it on the road right here so the gun's above, and then just use it to pick people off. Because if you only expose the Crow system, even if the Crow system gets hit by a rocket, yes, it'll disable the Crow, but it won't destroy the vehicle. And you're using the Crow because it's a remote 50 cal to just snipe people off. Still better than Escape from Tarkov bipods? Yeah, right. I do agree. This bipod is literally meant for you in like CQC to just line up a target and spray them down. But in terms of making accurate shots with it past 100 meters, it's a gigantic pain in the ass. So this team is now holding. It is quite possible these guys are a bait group to pull out additional Op 4 to potentially try to assault these guys, but at the same time, they have a whole minefield to go through. Op 4 would be higher than Pterodactyl Tits if they were to push through their own minefield to try to flank Blue 4. So this basically creates a wall of neither side really pushing through. And I'm assuming this minefield is a mixture of AP and maybe a few AT mines. But here, oh, these are the vanilla bouncing betties. These are the deadliest anti-personnel mine in the entire game, in my opinion. Because it'll shoot up in the air and then literally kill anything within 10 meters. And it was balanced for vanilla body armor. So it'll kill CSAT within 10 meters. It'll kill NATO in 10 meters. And compared to other mods, they have some of the most overpowered body armor in the game. So this can kill up to 15, even 20 meters if the terrain is right. And you're not wearing something that's not like, you know, CSAT undersuit armor or full-on NATO plate. But yeah, so here's one of the AT mines right here in the corner. There's another AP, but... Again, I would think OPFOR would be higher than Giraffe Pussy if they're going to assault around that. Now, we do see OPFOR sending some teams around. They are trying to find where Blue 4 could potentially be coming around. And as I predicted, they're literally going to map hug, get on this road right here, and then just go all the way around on the flank. OPFOR has no internal defenses. They went all in defending the wall. And I would think they would then have a team down here to watch this little road too, because naturally that would create a gap that Blue 4 would definitely try to exploit. Now, if OPFOR had a team down here to just bottleneck this group, it would be an early GG, because OPFOR would then bring everything over to stop it. So, I think if, in terms of the bets, which, by the way, can someone tell me the number, because I can't see it on my side from these interfaces, what the bets were between Blue 4 and OPFOR. But I would say it is looking like Blue 4 is going to win this, because all they got to do is destroy these two objectives or put charges on them, and then just hold the docks. And that would be 2 points there, 3 points there, and then there's only 2 points at the checkpoint. They could also put a team at the checkpoint if they wanted to, but knowing Blue 4, they're probably going to do a dismount either over here, somewhere on this road, or they're going to come in, dismount on the edge right here, and then just walk the forces in. They're not going to drive right in. Brig, thanks for the raid of 13, buddy. I always try to find and raid you, but you always seem to finish just as I start up. Giggity. Nonetheless, thanks for all your support over these years, man. I really do appreciate it. I hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I do hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. But yeah, due to this oversight, I genuinely think there's going... Ooh, secret tunnel. Oh, secret tunnel. See, I saw this on the map, and I'm like, this usually means there's something underground, and holy crap. This makes me want to make an op where we just put 20 charges underneath and just blow this mountain up, destroying the entire military base. But with this oversight, it's giving Blue 4 a very big advantage to get forces around. 68/70 to 17k? What do you mean by that, Tootie? Because I'm used to just seeing two numbers with a K next to them. I don't know what the 68 to 70 means. Alright, so what just happened? That was smoke of a mine coming up, and Jesse and Katz are unconscious. So I think they just tripped a mine. So what needs to happen now is Angel needs to call up. He needs someone to come up and help him, because, yeah. 7931, gotcha, thank you. Katz wakes back up, Jesse's being worked on. Then again, if that was the AP mine, then these guys should be uncon. We do see an AT mine right there as well. But yeah, they're like in the middle of the damn minefield. So it was either that or maybe it was a GL. I'm more inclined to believe it was a random GL by OPFOR, because if that was a mine even right there, these guys would be dead. There wouldn't be an uncon, they would be dead. So I think these guys solely exist to try to bait OPFOR to come across the minefield to fight them. All as this squad basically flanks around. Everyone bet on blue? I'm not surprised by that, but then again, OPFOR, all they needed to do was watch this road, watch this train tunnel, and then watch this southern road, and then just watch the roads on the minefields, and then once they figure out where Blue 4's attacking from, If it's in the minefield location, you can just pull other things off of the minefield to assist. If it's down here, they can just pull things from the north to assist. But all you got to do as a defender is figure out where your attackers are coming from and then find ways to either flank them during their advance to inflict heavy casualties and then pull away, or just hold the objectives themselves. But because of that massive gap in OpFor, yeah, so it was definitely Twig King because he's firing GLs up here. And you see that same smoke effect that we saw the aftermath of. So that big puff was away and we just saw that little trail smoke, so it was definitely a GL by Twig. So yeah, see? Big puff of smoke didn't render for us because we teleported in. We only saw the tail and Jesse got smacked. But because of this massive gap, Blue 4 doing their dismount even further. I love how Angel responded by throwing a grenade. Little act of defiance showing that they don't appreciate those GLs at all. But I guess Blue 4 are thinking maybe Op4 is doing a defensive line like this, and then instead of covering the roads right here, they're covering this. But let's be honest, this is a longer length of territory to cover than this. And then if they're giving room for Blue 4 to dismount over here, then Op4 need to watch every forested area here. It would just be easier for Op4 to watch the road, and the road. Potentially, like, if they were watching here, both sides should be able to hear any vehicles passing through the middle, because that's only a few hundred meters at that point. So I think Blue 4 is overthinking Op4's capabilities because, again, this is already a big enough defensive line. I think they could have gotten away with going a little closer, but this also plays into the idea that they want to go for the checkpoint first, and then they're going to be pulling a buy. I think that's a bit of a mistake by Blue 4. I think it would be easier for them to take the extra 15 minutes, forego these points, and instead go for this. And if they really wanted to also take the checkpoint, just send a single squad over there to potentially pin any forces at the checkpoint itself. As the main force here instead goes for everything further back. Because again, these two objectives are worth the same as this one, and these are destroy objectives. They can be destroyed at any time. So they just go in, put charges on these, time it so that they're deaded later, maybe keep some sentries on them so they don't, you know, have explosions go off and freak Op4 out, and then go to the docks. But I think Blue 4 has made this plan thinking they're going to run into resistance here, and I'm just saying this plan that I came up with out of the bias that Op4 is not defending internally. But I'm going to be honest, most OFCRA ops do not have internal security on the objectives. Usually they'll send everything to create a defensive net, but if they create a gap, this is what you get. Now you got Blue 4 going on to different areas. They want to try to increase the surface tension of Blue 4's aggression on this minefield to potentially pull more forces in. And you do see that as a reaction. You do see a vehicle up here. You see these guys mounting up here. They might think that Blue 4 is trying to probe the minefield here. And with all these guys not detecting anything, that is quite possible. But you do have a bit of a shift in some of Op4's defenses. So you've got one Op4 group that's now holding the checkpoint, and you've got a small team that is patrolling around the forested area. I think because Blue 4's commander is paranoid. Hold on. Alright, Emil died to a fence. Okay. Huh. So whatever crazy creature killed this man on the E22 highway, let's look at the other deaths here, also must have killed this man right in the middle of the road. As for Emil, I think he, based off of the angle of the butt and the angle of this fence pole and the blood, I think I can tell you, not as a doctor, but I think we know what he did. I think we know what he tried. Now, I would tell you not to try that because that's what happens, but you do you with your own life, okay? That's all I'm going to say. So now Blue 4 is going to try to push a Minesweeper forward. Op 4 can hear the engine of that Minesweeper, so they've already got a group right here ready to hit that vehicle. And now Op 4... Do Op 4 have drone ops? I don't see any drones under command. And I don't see any dedicated drone teams here. Because now we're starting to see a bit of Op 4 turning around. Maybe because Wombat thinks that they might have gone all the way around and he's adjusting his force, but I'm going to say luck of the draw so far if they now try to pull everything back and form a defensive line. But look at this fat defensive line right here of Op 4 infantry. But based off of the numbers we see right here with the engineers, this is bait. But maybe these guys could be mobilized and also help with the battle line up here. It's hard to say. You know, it's really funny. You don't even need to really pass the minefield here. Let me explain. If you want to make noise to pull forces towards you, all you need to do is get these two vehicles. You don't even need the infantry dismounted with you. Just drive through the minefield, parallel to the minefield, and trigger the mines to give the audio cues to Op 4 that you're over here. But then don't actually push through the minefield because Op 4 is just going to camp the other side of it. Just pull forces here to then give your units here time to assault, and then once the actual assault begins and Op 4 realizes that, hey, this is just bait, mount your guys up, drive them all the way around, and then reinforce the main front. This doesn't actually need to result in combat. This is literally just here to force Op 4 to pull resources away from the objectives. Because let's be honest, the forests here are too thick to use these minesweepers in a straight line. But I think in Blue 4 learning this, they're kind of doing the strategy I just brought up. And that's just going to keep Op 4 here as they hear the engines and an occasional mine going off. And when in reality, it's just Blue 4 trying to path through this damn thing. So we hear these guys just talking about backing out, but they've somehow wedged themselves in a tree, so they got to go forward and then they can back up. So we have a big group. This is a whole platoon of Blue 4 right here, because we see 4 different squad markers. It is quite possible they're waiting to potentially ambush vehicles coming back. And in that time, they're waiting for other infantry forces to move forward. But this is a holding position. Now, with the 8-minute safe start, that means that we have about 19 minutes before this first objective's cashed in. Maybe they're waiting until it's the 15-minute mark so they can go in, take the objective, and then hold it for the minimal amount of time. But that would then give them 15 minutes to move from the checkpoint to these objectives, so there has to be a second group moving on these before this is even potentially assaulted, to give these guys more time to actually move on those areas. Because think of it this way, if you take the checkpoint and then you blow these two up, that'll give you 4 points. This final docks area is only worth 3. You can win before the game even ends at that point. So what we'll potentially see is Blue 4 send a squad to each of these objectives, thinking they've pinned quite a bit of Op 4 in this location. And then they're going to send an entire platoon to take the checkpoint to hold it because they expect QRF to come in. And then these squads can go up and hit these 2 objectives while things are being pulled to the checkpoint. And then that's Blue 4's victory there. Now you got the vehicles pulling away. Because again, all they needed to do was make noise, trigger a few mines with their mine plows. and just keep Op4 thinking, hey, they're going to come into this direction. And now we have this massive gap here. So another mine went off. All right. These guys just decided to fire into the minefield to see if it would trigger anything, like, you know, people are sneaking into them. But they're realizing this is a ploy because they're hearing the engine sounds pulling away. So they are, I think, going to back off and just now pull sector security. So engineers have bought all the time they can, but now we got Blue 4 finally moving in on this position. Anyway, I will be right back 1 second, but I'll keep it going. Alright, sorry about that. So, we've got Blue 4 now heading in. I think Op4 realized that this was a ploy. We have a striker over here. It missed. Oh, okay. Op4 fired a Cormet launcher at him, but they missed. It went a little short. They're trying to reload it. Bushmaster's having trouble identifying the target. RPG's firing in. Hits a tree. He's stuck in the tree. So he's trying to get away from it. They're trying to maneuver the turret to get away. Swola has rearmed the Cormet launcher, but they're instead backpacking it because the tree line's too thick. But now we've got Blue 4 assaulting the checkpoint. And they are quickly overwhelming this position. Scrolling out, we see a big chunk of Op4 have moved on, and Blue 4 are now trying to cross this area, knowing that Blue 4 probably left by now. So they might just push in and come in from the north as other forces have started flanking around to assist the assault going in. But this Bushmaster is going to stall all the Op4 that are trying to come in to provide QRF to the checkpoint, allowing for Blue 4 to bulldoze this position. If we scroll out and look, we've got these two squads lining up. They're going to be going for the other objectives here, and Op4 are just completely out of position. Now, I do hear suppressed shooters here. Okay, so we have a T5000. So that might not be a T5000. It's like a upgraded T5000, actually. But we got Hearts here trying to shoot at this range. He's not going to be able to hit stuff, though, because that will drop off at a few hundred meters. You hear this gun going off. They're trying to hit a few of these guys with that marksman rifle, but they just can't seem to find enough angles. And you got Blue 4 just absolutely dunking on people, through windows, mind you. Really nice grenade bounce there. Now you got Wombat's, not Wombat. Batakino stuck in here. He gets a second kill, but then he is taken out. So I think he was the only OFCRA guy to get any kills here. But you got OFCRA sending the first wave of QRF in. Honestly, whoever controls this choke point is going to control the game at this point. You got the Bushmaster right here, Tackleberry.
Lone wolfing, so I can't move any forward.
He knows he's lone wolfing, but he has that AT out. But he's hunting for this vehicle.
Okay, it's north. North.
So the Bushmaster's coming in. These guys need to carry on, and quick. Their objective is going to be to destroy these two objectives and then chill at the docks. I think Tackleberry is going to be able to get a shot here. Another AT shot goes in. Bushmaster immediately takes him out. Here's the issue. I just heard a Cormit launch. Engine offline. Tackleberry, he needs to put that AT shot towards the front of the vehicle. In order to take out this Bushmaster, they have to engage the front here, because all of this is open space. But they're definitely stalling. Oh, we even have some red on red going on right here. That is not good. Tackleberry looks like he got TP'd back because he was running out ahead. I don't know where he ended up. Probably back to his forces. Trying to see because he had an X in his name. I have no idea where he went. Oh, there he is. Yeah, so he got teleported back. Or he did, in fact, run all the way away, but yeah, he was the only real solution for this vehicle, but he did acknowledge that he was lone wolfing, so. Looks like the driver here is now trying to do some repairs on the engine. All as the gunner basically covers. RPG fires out its short. And you've got this OPFOR infantry wave has traded pretty evenly with the defensive garrison here. Let's take a look at the skulls. So we got 2 in the zone. That's the one that died on the road. 2 more in here. A 5th and a 6th. And then some additional people, it looks like they potentially died up here in the minefield. Funny enough, they died where it was marked safe. So they've taken casualties on that regard. Now, the question is, I don't think Blue 4 have the manpower to hold this checkpoint for an extended period of time. So this will be cashed in 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes, actually. So can Blue 4 hold this position in 10 minutes? And in those 10 minutes, can these chuckleheads get to these objectives and demo them? They'll have more than 10 minutes. It'll technically be cashed at 25, but if OPFOR realizes they can't take these take this checkpoint back, they're going to start defending the other 2 objectives. So if Blue 4 can successfully take out those 2 objectives in the back and hold the checkpoint, that'll give them the points to win, because the docks is only worth 3 points beyond that, and the final score will be 4-3. You just see where Blue 4's bodies, these are 2 new bodies here, are mounted, as OPFOR just sending forces in to try to counter-attack. You got a few Blue 4 that have pushed a little forward. You've got plenty of sniper teams set up. Zixme, I'm hoping, gets a few good kills here. But he's getting ranges as these 2 sniper teams are just trying to pick off whoever they can. Honestly, effective use of sniper teams, but they got to hit. But that's going to keep Blue 4 at least pinned down, because if they stay static in any one position for a little too long, they're going to get taken out. Meanwhile, we've got these vehicles now moving around. They're trying to basically harass the infantry over here to prevent them from assaulting. That's doing a great job. 1 Dragoon is pulling in because it's less effective in an urban environment, while another one is now trying to get on the rear of these forces. So these guys can also bypass and potentially hit the objectives as well. But that means that Blue 4 have a limited amount of infantry here. If OPFOR can successfully take the checkpoint back, all they have to do is then hold that, bypass these 2 objectives, then hold the docks, but they should have the manpower to win the fight at that point. Another Blue 4 guy's taken out. Watch, I mean, he's dead. He got sniped. That was Zixme. Yep. Oh, well, could have also been Digord, but he doesn't have the angle to hit him compared to what Zixme had, so... You Blue 4 getting taken out, so they're just basically holding this position. I'd love to see the Bushmaster get ordered to shoot at the rooftop. Yep, lone wolfing is not allowed in this style of operation. Vehicles can do it if they've got a dedicated crew, but single infantry cannot. All I need to see is this Bushmaster look up, drive a little forward, and start plinking at the rooftop there, if they're able to coordinate with these guys. Op4 to counter, all they need is a guy with an RPG to move up and hit. Looks like they tried, but it got caught in the buildings. So this Bushmaster is basically going to prevent any movement from Op4 into the objective until it's taken out. It's a force multiplier. And it looks like this Bushmaster is not doing a good job of rear overwatch to catch Op4 out of position. So they're probably just going to be ineffective for the rest of the game. Unironically, maybe they'll come in at the end, but the one job it has is to keep these guys pinned along the rear. So without that effect, they're going to basically just let Op4 flank this position from another angle. But we have 8 minutes before things are cashed in. Multiple wheels are getting taken out because the RPGs are hitting. But it's spaced armor. Rigel gets another AT hit. That takes out the turret. So like I said, they're just holding there as a force multiplier to slow down the advance. And we have a squad of Blue 4 abandoning this position. Here's the thing. If they leave this position, they don't have the collective manpower to hold the docks from what remains on Op4. So if they just leave this, it's GG. In my honest opinion. And now they're going to run into this open area and the Op4 vehicle's going to snipe them. No! This squad just threw the game. This one squad just threw the game for Blue 4, in my opinion. Another RPG goes in, it finally gets the engine. If Blue 4 just held this house and held a few other buildings, it would have been close, but I think they would have been able to win this fight. They're pulling out to try to retreat to join these forces up here, not realizing they've been fully encircled, and they're just getting picked off now. If you did not have the intention to take this objective, you shouldn't, like, you should have raided it and then immediately bypassed to hit those two objectives, maintain the rest of your infantry, and then hold the dock. You can't just go in here, hold it, and realize, nah, this is a bad idea, and then pull out, because by then you've given Op4 enough time to encircle you. Maybe they were relying on the Dragoon guy on the hill to go, yeah, there's nothing behind you. Bro, he did not have good sightlines from that hill, and you know this is forested hill, so he's not gonna... Oh, my God. So the one autocannon Vic just got 4 kills on basically half of that squad that decided to pull out. Got Damien and Z here pushing in against Fetty and Grills. I don't know if they know each other are here. Fetty has his AT out for some reason because he's tunnel visioned by the vehicle. A little bit of red on red here, but Grills noticed Oddball and knocked him. What a throw. I get it. It's a squad leader thinking, yeah, this is a bad position. I need to pull out. But when it comes to how close the clock was and reading the room, they were a sacrifice piece at that point. Because now they're just ineffective. Look at that one trade there. Both of them headshotting each other at the same time. Those are rare, but I love them. So here's the deal. Score is going to be tied 2-2 because Blue 4 is going to have time to blow up both of these. Blue 4 is going to have their forces in the docks first. Does Blue 4 have enough to hold off against Op 4? This Bushmaster pushes in the open. The driver immediately abandons his gunner. Now he runs back, thinking that there was cook-off. Gunner gets Swola. Driver's taken out. Gun's going to turn around. Did Ash just miss it point blank? Oop here is both the most unlucky and luckiest player right now. For his driver to drive in. No, it's his driver's fault that they picked this route to drive in on. He's fighting for his life, but damn, Ash whiffing that AT shot. Hold up. There we go. It hit the rear, though. And this is where the crew compartment is, so it's not going to do the most damage. You have to either hit it in the middle. Mike's yelling at him to step out.
Step out the vehicle. You're surrounded. I'm on the vehicle. I got Alan surrounded. Step out.
They're taking his wheels. Now he's panic firing in all directions. He was doing damage to him, though. I don't think they're going to armor him with the wheels, but they're just making sure he can't move anywhere. Look, he's doing more damage to him slowly. He just shut the driver hatch to make sure. He's doing the smart thing, though. He's hitting the higher ground to try to do splash damage here. Looking at the rest of the fighting, so the radar site's been taken out. They just have to get the EW vehicle, which is electronic warfare, by the way. We do have Bursty kind of moving towards that. Ooh, little lag spike there. He does have an AT4. I'm not sure if an AT4 will be individually able to cook it off, but the 50 cals might be able to come in and do it. So it looks like Eric shot an AT at the vehicle, and it cooked off and eliminated the two OPFOR players here. So Ooper gets another 2 kills by proxy. So 4 kills for that vehicle, not a bad ratio considering usually vehicles get whiffed pretty hard. But there's the 45-minute mark. OPFOR have control of that. Another 15 minutes need to go by. What Blue 4 needs to do now is just pull all their force in the docks and hope it's enough. We still have the engineer vehicles with these 50 cal Crow systems for force multipliers. I wonder, oh, Wombat not have heard anything through the engine of this Ural. Basically, the sound noise from there canceling out hearing the other vehicles coming by. But if Blue 4 don't det this vehicle here, the only thing they can hope for is to tie, because OPFOR will then get the point for that vehicle. But I think these guys are rushing out to take it out. But yeah, weird balance right now for what I've seen. Let's take a look at the roster here. So we got a full group here. Command's still alive. And then they got these smaller groups of assets and engineers. OPFOR, meanwhile, looks like they've taken casualties a little evenly across everything, but they have a lot more groups to work with. They're just slightly smaller. So I think OPFOR have a definite numbers advantage right now. But Blue 4, if they can evenly cover this area here, and it's not that hard. You have a military base. Literally, hold the military base, and then with the Crows, hold these 2 areas here. And they actually have a lot of good defensive positions. It's CQC, though, but there's rooftop cover to help prevent grenades from landing and whatnot. I think Blue 4 still have a genuine shot here. It's just much harder than what they could have done. But there's still room for them to salvage this. What confuses me is we have Blue 4 going all the way around here for some weird reason. If they know that this is clear, they should just be heading up this road, or at least heading up to this way. And this is just giving OPFOR time to regroup and then push their stuff in. So, weird decisions made by both factions so far, but when both sides make weird decisions, it just makes the PvP more interesting. It's probably where the jammer with the electronic warfare vehicles broadcasting. You got these guys all looking around. Sniper still, I think, only got a kill each, but No, Zixme got up to 3. Love how this guy, we had the SSWT kit and everything deployed, and then Zixme is just holding the rifle and picking people off. So, I don't think the Typhoon vehicle can get mag dump 50 cal deaded. It needs an actual AT block. But we'll see. These guys are engineer teams. They should have explosives on them. At least you would think, right? Why? Just someone in there has to have an explosive, right? Thank you. This one's simple. Put like 1 or 2 charges on it or a satchel and you're good to go. These things are usually up armored though, so I'm not sure a single charge will be... Okay, he knows. Pred here knows. Yep. 2 will be sufficient. And if 2 is not sufficient, I will be thoroughly surprised. Alright. So, scoreboard is going to be tied 2-2. Blue 4 just need to move in and hold the dock.
Okay.
They're outnumbered, but they have the defensive advantage. Now, drive away before you dead it so you don't kill yourselves. I can't believe I have to say that, but you watching have seen that the players make some of the craziest decisions out there. All right, anyone's game. I wouldn't recommend it, but technically we could also use these BTRs as turrets. It is funny that they ripped all the wheels off. I think it's smart for OFCRA to do that, though, because I think 2 infantry would be better, especially if they have AT, than the BTRs. Because let's be honest, the Crow 50 cals, they can scope in much farther than the BTRs can see, so the BTRs are kind of useless. I'd say the only thing the BTRs would have been useful for would have been scrap metal to block the roads. Because especially if they're fighting Bushmaster autocannons, nah. Nah. Well, no, so a BTR is 14.5 and 7.62 because it's the KPVT turret. So it's an even bigger caliber. Yes, it can penetrate into the Strikers, but the Strikers either have autocannons through the Bushmaster turret or they have the 50 cal. And other than the ones that Blue 4 is using that they can turn out and use if they're using the Crow system. Oh, hold on. Depso just saw Ash.
Cool.
But Ash did not see Depso.
No, but you can.
So Tisley, I'd love to, but I can't teleport in and do mid-match interviews like that. Plus, that would potentially disrupt players that are trying to execute stuff, so it's not worth the risk. Huh? Don't dismount immediately if you're under RPG fire. That's what Especially if you have infantry here that can then move in and cover you. Because if you dismount and you're dead, if you stay in, maybe you buy yourself a few moments because they think you're dead. Okay. Huh. I'm hoping someone like Pogo _ takes control of the situation because he's a really good player. But they're fighting people like Demovar, Goatlin, and Shay, which are OFCRA vets. Lucy's trying his best, but bro does not stand a chance. I think Pogo just got a kill. And then he gets 2 for 1 by Rigel and Shay. Depso now coming up to try to flank along the rear. You got the autocannon vehicle also coming up. Blue 4 still are trying to get forces into defensive here. Will it be enough? Maybe they saw Ash and freaked out. I don't think Blue 4 needs the commander anymore because at this point they also have Tymek as the 2IC, but they just need to set up a defensive line and they're good. Maybe Depso can get in here and get a few kills along the rear. Does he look right and see Rigel? He does. Takes Rigel out. Nice double tapping shots. He's going to now intermingle in the trees. He's giving away his position, though. Op4 starting to turn around. Tymek gets spotted by Ash. What are you... You did not just not notice him completely. He was right here. How did you not notice Ash literally walk around like this and get behind you? What? My mouth is agape. Depso died. I think Demovar got him. One perception build be like, yeah, great. So Op4 just wiped an entire Op4 mechanized squad and the ground command vehicle team for only like maybe a third to half of an Op4 squad. And you flipped your... The one force multiplier you had. Okay. All right. Awesome. Don't do it again. All right, we're good. Everything's fine. Now, let's see if this vehicle's paying attention to the road. Shoot it. Okay, all right, I see the issue. There was a vehicle here, but you shot the trees over here. Okay. All right, yeah. Yeah, I see. Maybe that gunner needs to get his prescription checked. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe I'm being mean here, but, Okay. It's fine. It's fine. Did you just push out and then get AT'd? If you think there's an enemy up there, why would you move forward? What? If you... Oh, my brain cells, they're killing themselves. Oh, God. Oh, God, these decisions. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I try not to be salty, but why? You have two natural choke points here. You have this, and you have this. Why would you go up to fight something over here when you have this? Like, what are you thinking? I'm having a... I mean, he did the smart thing. Let's be honest. He pulled all the way back here and all that time, and I was using this distance to now snipe at Blue 4. That's the smart idea. But, oh my God. I'm actually getting a headache. Scaring me. All right, either the driver or gunner just got killed off. Gunner's dead. Honestly, I think Op4 just did Blue 4 a favor there because now they have to get a new gunner. Sorry, I just booped my mic. But, yeah, okay. Look at the amount of Op4 versus the amount of Blue 4s. Op4 still have a distinct number advantage, and we still have... I think NASA's doing admin things over there, so we'll discount him. Excuse me. The one saving grace Blue 4 potentially has here is if they can bait a good chunk of Op4 to come in, and then have this squad come in and flank around and hit Op4 from the rear, maybe Blue 4 can inflict enough casualties. Oh, we're about to have a tower fight. Okay, best position would be to be back there. They just traded. Okay, Gargan's combat. But no, you want to be right here because they're going to come up. People never check the rear, and then you can just tap them. Or be in this corner so they can't actually see you because, you know, they can see you from up there if they come in. But Oddball, I appreciate what you're doing, but I don't think he has a head left. Now they're taking GLs up here, so they've retreated a bit. Honestly, if I was an Op 4 shoes and I had an explosive charge, just put an explosive on it and run away. Yes, this is a decent Overwatch position, but if it has a Blue 4 garrison, just kill it. Maybe the ghillie suit was covering their eyes and they couldn't see. Anything's possible. Damn, I'm getting salty in my commentating. I'm so sorry. Now we've got some suppressed shooters up here. So this is some of their snipers. Jesse's trying to pick some of the guys off that have gone up to the top of that tower. So Blue 4, they're opting just to bring these guys in as additional QRF on this line. And AT's now hitting these vehicles because they've... Yep. Lolo gets into a 1v1 with Fleesh there. He pops a grenade. Nice. And he's already away, so he can't get hurt by any return grenades. Good pick off over here by someone's tracers. I think that was Jesse. Oh, no! Oh, no! No! No, you did not! No! No! Oh! Oh! They just did a near kilometer ATGM shot with the Corman ATGM. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Yeah, barely within wire range because it was barely within a kilometer. It was 969 meters. Damn. I think this is GG. No. I'm going to walk that back because Op 4, if you notice, a lot of their infantry is still on support roles. So if they trickle in and Blue 4 tightens up, they could still have a chance here. But again, like I've just seen the needle shift. It was a near guaranteed Blue 4 victory. And then we saw that crazy pullout that they tried completely blow up in their face. And they just did it to the other one, did they? They just, yep. They just did it to the other guy. Absolutely brutal. There goes all of Blue 4's Overwatch. And Arthi should have at least 3 kills now. Yep. Really smart use of assets. Not even kidding. But, I mean, Blue 4 are nearly down to single digits. We got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not including vehicle crews, but it might be solo crews at this point. 11, because we have a +1 there. Op 4. 5 right there. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 17. Not sure if I counted those two, so it's 19. But again, they got a lot of people on Overwatch, so Op 4 could potentially still trickle in and lose, but... I mean, Lolo on 5 kills here. God. Sismo on 3, Demovar on 2. 6 for Coinseg because he breached that tower. I mean, versus Blue 4 on 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Yeah. And we just saw another kill by Demovar there. It's like kicking puppies at this point. It's GG. And I think that was an upset, right? Because most people bet Blue 4. And again, Blue 4 should have won this, but then they did that pullout. So if they didn't do that pullout, they would have won, or at least had a very, very high chance of winning because they would have been able to hold that spot. T dismounts, ends up in here, and the physics catch up with him, realizing he phased through the wall, and he burns to death. You and one other guy voted red for it? Yeah. You're going to win a lot of points here because now we're just seeing cleanup. OFCRA now have the number advantage in the final zone. There's, what, 2, 4, 6 Blue 4 alive. Angel gets a kill on Demovar, first kill of the game. Vehicles are getting picked off because they don't have the proper cover from the infantry. They're not in good positions to overwatch areas. They're just getting sniped off by RPGs, giving infantry plenty of room to maneuver around and find more, or find different angles to engage them. Or they're just going to be silly and stay in positions and get sniped off because they just don't know what they're doing. Okay. But it doesn't matter because OFCRA have the number advantage. Hit it towards the front, Seismo, or in the middle. That was also a decent shot. Looks like it went behind the driver, though. Or the gunner, excuse me. But again, you're seeing a bit of a weakness with OFCRA's trickle-in advantage. But looks like that caused a delayed cook-off in the munitions of this vehicle. Cooks it off. People run out screaming. Hawkeye burns to death. Bengi. Bengi, there's water. Just run for it. You can make it. Smile. Oh, Seismo's running up to finish him off. But Bengi still hears the footsteps. But Seismo does not give a shit. Sees Hawkeye. Double kill for Seismo. With 2 vehicle kills, too. Seismo gonna not get super close to that because he will burn too. But Angel knocked unconscious. Vayne runs in, gets 1 kill. Dodges a 240 Bravo that refuses to push out, but finally gets the kill. Oral on the 1 kill. And, oh, Angel wakes back up. All right. Can either of these Blue 4 players channel their inner Audrey Hotto? We both know what the answer is to that. But I gotta do it for the bit. Anyway. All right, don't tell bro, but it looks like the box fell out of his gun. He's got like 12 rounds in that machine gun, though. All right, I think he'll be fine. Angel misses the shots on Seismo. Giovanni decides, hey, how you doing? Angel realizes he's outgunned and runs away. The ghillie suit gives him an extra 5 meters of movement speed per hour. Depso, this might piss you off to know, but if you had a squad stay in the checkpoint objective, finish him. Yeah, there we go, RL. You had a squad leave the checkpoint objective with 5 minutes remaining. Angel, I think, just got mag dumped by Giovanni, or Seismo got him. Nope, okay, he's in a completely different building. But, Depso, if they stayed in that checkpoint for those 5 minutes, you probably would have won the checkpoint. Yeah, they routed. Did Seismo just get that snipe? Nope, he's still at 4, but all right, he gets taken out. It's all on Angel. But if they stayed, let me show you where they died. They ran out here where the one autocannon vehicle was, and like 8 of them, I think only 3 of them survived, and then the rest were either up here and got picked off, and then 1 was able to run away. But no, Blue 4 had a whole squad here that just routed with like 5 minutes left. But if they stayed there, they would have gotten the objective, and Blue 4 would have won the points. That was the funniest thing I saw. Angel's dead. Didn't even see it. OFCRA GG. But it was such a bad route, and they just got absolutely annihilated. Yeah, they weren't even facing pressure on all sides yet. They just left. Unfortunately, OFCRA had that position surrounded because they were trying to do an all-around attack. But in that time, they wouldn't have been able to get people in there if they were fighting against Blue. Like, again, it was mind-boggling to see that play out in real time. But anyway, 17 people left on OFCRA. GG. We'll be back in 3 hours for POG, the 3rd mission of Broken Crown, where we'll be doing some more looting and avoiding mines, goddamn. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Cheers. I'm gonna go edit this footage and have a good one.